Okay, நான் கேட்ட கேள்விக்கு யார்கிட்ட ஆன்சர் இருக்கு? Let me see who's telling the correct answer. Yes. No. So those of you who doesn't know what is the question, நான் இல்லைன்னா சேல்ஸே ஆகாது, நான் அதிகமாக இருந்தா தலைவலி. வீட்டுக்கு போகணுமா போக வேண்டாமா உங்களுக்கு? நீங்க என்ன மனைவியை சேல்ஸ் பண்ணுவீங்களா என்ன? ஆண்டர்பிரினர்ஷிப் வியூ பாயிண்ட்ல யோசிங்க. க்ளோஸ். கரெக்ட். You are right. You are got the correct answer. Yay! உங்களுக்கு 5000 பொற்காசுகள் வாஸ் கொடுப்பாரு. Okay, moving on to the next session. Artificial intelligence, is it our greatest disruptor or the biggest opportunity yet? To guide this conversation, please welcome the moderator, Mr. Praveen Konduru. So we have the panel members.
Next going to be mics 2.
Mr. Vijay, Karthik,
5.
Mr. Ramesh.
Okay, all right. 5. Good.
Mr. Vijay, Karthik, Mr. Ramesh, Sundarrajan, and Mr. Vinod Balaraman. Please welcome them onto the stage.
I'm glad. They keep switching them.
We get to pass out one.
Thank you.
Please give a round of applause for them.
Good afternoon, everyone. Before they settle down, I have a small request. Now that many of us are here, I want to take a moment where if you can tag on one of the social handles stating that I am in Dallas and I am attending Elevate 2024, it will also help where you can bring your friends and family to meet with you, so that you can also meet the people that you know and do not know who might be in Dallas. So kindly tag. We'll make an announcement. I think all of us were having lunch, so this might have missed out. So on LinkedIn, our Teams Global, and also on Facebook also, it's our Teams Global, and also on Instagram. So that will be good for us to get the word out about Teams and also about Elevate 2025. So any friends that you know who might be already living, and also there is possibility that you might not know some of them, who might look at your tag and come and meet you. This would be a great opportunity for many people to know about us. So please tag us on our Teams Global and also connect us on LinkedIn, so that it will help us to get the word out. Thank you. Over to the moderators.
Thanks, Vas. Thanks for the opportunity. And I would like to introduce the panel members first. Ramesh Sundarrajan, who is the CEO of GenAI, and Vijay Karthik, he is the CEO of AI, and Vijay Karthik, and Vinod Balaraman, CEO of AI, and Vijay Karthik, he served as an executive member for several organizations. So with that, I would like to introduce.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Thank you. So my name is Ramesh Sundarrajan, co-founder and CEO of GenAI Healthcare. This is my third company, and we have been running this company for the past 19 months. And this year, we have been awarded as one of the top 10 innovative companies in the state of Georgia. And last year, we won the Best New Startup Award by Startup Atlanta. And this year again, Venture Dallas has nominated us for the Best 2025 Startup. And again, Startup Atlanta has nominated for a Startup for Good Award. We are almost close to getting to the revenue stage. So we have raised 1.5 million so far, and we are continuing to raise as well. And so what we do is we are working on a product which is Nextcura, AI-driven wellness and risk assessment platform. So we are a second opinion of a doctor, but at the same time, we are also into longevity as well. We are manufacturing our own smart ring, which I'm wearing, and also into nutritional, supplemental, pharma, and then we wanted to get into next cure of women dealing with menopause, right? So these are the future roadmap, what we have. And so far, I think, so we launched the pre-order for the smart ring, and so it's been like a couple of weeks. So we have generated close to $6,000 in revenue so far. So our target is for this year is close to $100,000. So we are on the way to meet. And honestly, my vision is to build this as one of the unicorn companies from Atlanta.
You can go next.
Can you hear me? Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Vinod Balaraman. I'm the CEO and co-founder at Collate AI. We are a patient-level clinical events prediction platform and to be used in precision medicine. But to further introduce myself, I am a corporate executive turned serial entrepreneur. So I previously was a senior partner at ZS Associates, which is a large life sciences strategy consulting firm. I also was a senior vice president at Atos, where I led a $1.5 billion business. About 3 to 4 years ago, I decided to become a full-time entrepreneur. So this is actually my second venture. So back to what Collate AI does, we are patient-level clinical events prediction. So to further explain what that means, we predict drug response, adverse events, study endpoints, et cetera, all at the patient level. And this is used in 3 different ways. Number one, it's used for synthetic head-to-head therapy comparisons and synthetic control arms. Number 2, we use it for point-of-care patient screening. And number 3, this is used for study enrollment screening of patients. So we work in the biopharma space with R&D and medical affairs. And we have raised about 1.8 million, having very good traction with multiple pilots, and we're looking to close the extension round of that, right? So again, excited to be here, and I have a talk coming up in a little bit as well, but for now I'll turn it back to Praveen, and very nice to meet Ramesh and
Thank you. Great.
Vijay as well. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, go ahead.
So before I start, the sort of energy in the room is pretty dull. Is it because of lunch, or are we all going to be like pumped up to ask questions? Make sure you ask a lot of questions to us. We'll try to answer them, right? First correction, it says I'm a global CTO of Procter & Gamble. I'm a former global CTO of Procter & Gamble. I've since retired. Now I'm doing a lot of board advisory. I have 3 startups as well. And then we'll leave it over there. I'll keep it short, and then we'll start with the questions.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the great introduction. Yeah, I think definitely room is pumped up now. So my first question to you, Sir Vinod. So when you hear the phrase AI in IT staffing, do you see it more as a disruption or an opportunity?
Well, it's a very good question to start off, right? So I view undoubtedly AI is a disruption, right? Disruption in a good way, though, right?
Yeah.
So it's a sea change to all industry, and it is certainly there are some impacts in every industry in terms of sort of the lower level, lesser skilled kind of jobs. Without question, there's going to be impact, and we just have to be ready for that. But that's sort of the price to pay for a significant disruptive change, right? So. Was your question specifically for the IT staffing industry?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, with respect to IT staffing, again, one opportunity there is, well, AI companies and AI projects need IT staffing as well. Like, for example, our company needs it, right?
Yeah.
So there's a direct opportunity there, but it is going to take away some types of jobs that are obviously much more automatable with, with Gen AI tools and other kinds of AI tools, right? So that you're going to have both kinds of impacts, right? But I think broadly speaking, I see it as a major disruption and a net positive, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there something you can share with the audience how they should adopt to this race of AI?
Well, number one thing I would say is meet the moment, right? When I say meet the moment, you gotta face up to the reality of what's coming. It is coming. So if you're going to try to, if you're operating in an organization and you're playing the role of, I would rather do things the same way things were done before, and I don't want to make a lot of changes. Well, I think it's not a winning proposition in the long run, because the wave's going to kind of overtake you at some point, right? So be ready to face the change and be part of the change, so that you can be one of the winners that comes with the change. And there's of course a small chance it could die out, I guess, like some of the previous waves have not quite done as well. But I still think that's a very, very, very unlikely event. Much more likely you're going to see lots of change, and you better be part of the change to be a winner, right? So that's what I would say.
Cool. So my next question for Ramesh. So I think if you were to outsource your product development to IT staffing companies, or you had a thought to outsource or product-based companies like you, what are the skills you are looking for the candidates so the IT staffing agencies can be prepared for that skill hunt?
Yeah, so great question. So not just the technology, right? So many areas. See, as a startup, what happens is, so there are two differences. One from a startup perspective and from a big corporate company perspective, right? So from startup perspective, what we are doing is, we are just doing a ground up, right? And then we are scaling continuously. So from the ground up, what we need is obviously, we need software engineers and things like that. But since AI is there, so there are like a lot of tools, AI tools, where we can, so instead of like having 10 software engineers, I can have 2 or 3 of them. Why? Because how many of you have heard about a tool called Cursor.ai? Yeah, many of them. And then there are so many co-pilots as well, which have come up. Amazon has come up with a co-pilot. Similarly, Azure have come up with a co-pilot. So there are so many co-pilots there, which is guiding us, which says, you don't need many engineers, and you can, need people who can integrate the code, but it just creates the code itself. So the way it is going to be is, so what's happening is, the era is changing with respect to AI, right? So whatever what AI does is, it does a basic what a human does, right? A low-level job. That's what the AI is doing right now, right? So filtering the data, selecting the right data and stuff like that. But beyond that, we need a human skill, right? So you need to put together, integrate everything, and things like that. So that's where we need people who, where you need to upskill. We ourselves need to upskill so that we can be ready for the change in era, right? So, and then coming to the topic, so from a startup company perspective, not just the technology perspective, we are looking for people. Sometimes what we do is we look for digital marketing, right? That's one of the areas we look for. Maybe staffing companies who are doing technology could focus on the digital marketing as well. There is a huge opportunity there because we need to be in the presence of social media. And that's our core to our strategy, right? Second is, marketing, right? Some brand marketing and stuff like that. So, so we have outsourced digital marketing, number one. Number two, and also brand marketing, right? We have outsourced because we need to create a brand awareness, brand identity, and stuff like that. So we need some consultants on that, right? So we have kind of outsourced that. So these are the areas I think my suggestion to the staffing companies is look beyond technology, right? There are so many things you can do beyond technology. Look for the skills. And within technology, I think ask your resources to upskill them. The skills are not required what it used to be earlier. It might not be required now. So they need to upskill themselves, see what's happening in the market, and the technology is going to be evolved always. So, yeah.
Thank you. So I think my next question to you, Vijay. So what traditional IT staffing practices do you think are at most risk with this AI practices coming today?
This is for staffing specifically.
Yeah.
So anything that is transactional, anything that's manual, anything that is routine, AI is going to disrupt it.
Yeah.
Right? But as you go up the value chain, right, there are areas, for example, like how do you predictively analyze your supply chain of resources?
Yeah.
AI can play a massive play there. So as you get closer and closer to the top of the supply chain, AI will help you. Bottom, AI is going to disrupt it completely.
Okay. I think I wanted to ask on the flip side, what are the opportunities you see with the AI in the same industry?
It's basically the art of possible, right? But before I talk about it, there's one thing I wanted to say is everybody is talking about AI. Everybody thinks somebody's doing something on AI, but nobody's doing anything on AI, right? It's very important to understand that, right?
Okay.
Because like most companies, they'll say, I want to do AI because he's also doing AI,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So don't just rush to do AI, right?
Yeah.
You try to identify the low-hanging fruits. So you start with automation, hyper-automation, then AI, right? So the bottom of the value chain is probably going to be gone, right? Train your staff to use AI, they'll succeed. But then there's other areas. For example, as you do candidate interviews, right? AI can help you understand gaps in skills, right? AI can also help you, for example, you can have an audio AI listening to the interview. You can have a GenAI that's more visual, looking at cues of the candidate, and then decide, is the candidate going to be a good candidate to present to the client, right? So there are plenty of opportunities you can do on AI.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's well articulated. Don't just get into AI because everybody is doing that. Okay. And my next question to you is, what advice would you give for mid-sized staffing companies which are trying to adopt AI to compete with larger companies who are well structured?
Well, I think one thing that it's not easy to do, but I'm going to say it because it's important for somebody to give the conviction on this, right? So, I mean, even if you're a staffing company, I think it's worthwhile exploring ways to create some mini products or productize what you're trying to do, right? It takes some investment and effort, but really it's really hard to compete just in pure staffing without having those differentiators. So I think my advice, one key piece of advice there is finding a way to productize, create accelerators, show repeatability and reusability of what you're doing, even in the staffing world, right? Because otherwise, there's millions of staffing companies, right?
Yeah.
I'll bring you everybody.
Yeah,
everybody in this room probably has some staffing companies that they own or that their brother owns or their cousin owns, right? So, how are you going to distinguish? I mean, well, of course, one is we're all like to be nice to each other and we like to give our friends some work. But look, you have to. The productizing is the way to distinguish. Right? So that requires a little bit of gumption, a little bit of ability to take some, put some investment in, put some skin in the game in. You have to do it. I mean, that's why you're. Right? And I think the other part, of course, is if you're getting into something like that, get into something that is AI native versus trying to I think this builds on what you said, Vijay. Don't try to force fit AI into something that doesn't necessarily need it. I mean, there's a lot of leaders that just want to see AI attached to something. It's much better to be AI native and try to design something that is actually where the AI is the differentiator, as opposed to AI just being added on, like it's done in many cases, right? So I think those are the two main things I would say, right?
Thank you. Yeah. So, Ramesh, my next question to you would be, is there any general kind of idea that for people who are feeling like we are not doing on AI, the rest of the world is doing a lot on AI, is there any general thing you want to put together for them, a perspective? Doesn't matter whether they are into staffing or product or a solution SaaS provider, but there is a thing, right? Everybody else is doing AI, maybe we are left behind. So is there anything you would like to comment on that point?
See, I think, let me go back a little bit down the memory line, right? So when was the AI really came into the picture? 2015, when OpenAI came up with their product. That's where everyone started talking about AI. But do we know that AI existed from 2006, 2007? Does anyone know? Knew that? It did, right? So what is AI? AI meaning there is an AI ML. So the Facebook, Instagram, they had an AI ML algorithms they already built it, right? So what is AI ML algorithm, right? So it's all a prediction based, right? Then they went into deep learning, right?
Yeah.
So after that, then OpenAI came in and they announced saying, okay, so we can do with LLMs by hitting millions of servers and getting all the data, aggregation of data, right? Now we are talking about agentic AI, right? So what is the difference between LLM and agentic AI? So LLM, which is if you want to create a new content, it creates it for you. And what is agentic AI now? So agentic AI is the fully automation, right? So you're talking about driverless cars and et cetera, or fully automated workflows. So you use agentic AI, right? So technology will be evolving, right? Doesn't mean that, oh, you need to catch up on the technology which is evolving. It doesn't mean that way. But you need to create your own value, right? As a company or as an individual, you need to have a vision where you have to be in, right? So that's the first thing, right? So as Vijay said, so there are companies who are billion-dollar companies who have crappy websites, and they are billion-dollar companies. Can you believe that? Healthcare companies are there, right? So they're not using AI. They're using just manual solutions and still, outdated platforms, still they're using it, right? By the way, so that's one of the areas we are trying to pivot into on the insurance side as well, combination of insurance and wellness. But to be honest, I think the companies or the individuals should keep an eye on where the technology is trending towards. But very important thing, I think everyone should keep in mind that AI is just an enabler, right? Your focus should be to solve the customer's pain points, right? So either you can use AI to solve those pain points, or you might have even a solution without an AI to solve the customer pain points. So you as an individual or the company, I would say, focus on the customer pain points, and that would be it. And don't worry about the technology. Technology is going to, today there will be a technology, and same technology wouldn't be there tomorrow. So, thank you.
Thank you. So before I go with my next question, I want to open up to the floor if they have any questions. Anyone, any questions you want to ask the panelists?
Maybe ask the backbenchers.
Yeah. Okay.
I own a company which is focused on Hello. I own a company which is focused on improving the representation of women in tech. So we do several upskilling programs to bring them up to speed and help place them. So given we are talking about AI, and now we work specifically with people who are coming back to work, which means they've had some history, worked, in IT before, and they've taken a break in their career and they're coming back. So what kind of skill sets will you look for? Can they start from scratch, like, AI, or are you looking for some kind of background so they can be successful? The goal is that they're successful.
Yeah, I think I can answer that.
Before you start, we just have 1 more minute to close this.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are at the time. But I think I can answer that. So they don't need to follow the traditional methods of learning programming language where they can get onto, but they can just learn the tools which might come up like drag and drop, or they can be a prompt engineers where you talk to an LLM and you give the instructions and you get the answers, and then agentic AI, which are primarily the workflows. I think it's easy to start for them, for the women who are looking to get back to work. It just don't need that long training anymore.
And then there could be opportunities for them to...
Yeah, definitely. Like as Ramesh was telling, there can be opportunities in digital marketing. There can be several opportunities. Yeah, now we are at the time. I would like
One question to Vijay.
Yeah.
What kind of strategies or mindset that you had to grow in IT field, particularly corporate America, that you've grown in big company like P&G as a CTO? What kind of thought process you had, and what is your advice for the IT folks to get into that level?
Good question. As an immigrant, as a minority, we all come here, we start our jobs, start as a junior engineer, and we are recruited into I call it the backstage of the house, right? You're on the backstage of the house, you're working in a smaller team, and then how do you get to the front stage, which is leadership roles, right? It is not just technical skills anymore, right? You got to master the art of communicating, send the right message. Your leader only has 2 minutes to listen to you, right? You got to send the right message to him and change the narrative more in terms of problem solving for the company, right? Not about architecture anymore, right? It's about how can tech solve a company's problem. So once you do that, they will see you as somebody who can go talk for the company in the board, talk for the company in the leadership, and represent IT as a brand for the business.
Thank you. I think we are at the time. So thanks all. It was a couple of nice questions.
I'm just going to say that that's not my picture, by the way. So, in case anybody's wondering.
That was so much informational. Thank you so much for joining us on stage. We got a lot of insights. So I request Mr. Vasan Ponnusamy, Elevate Director, onto the stage. Ms. Sridevi, core team member, Houston, and Mr. Ganapati Mardamuthu onto the stage to present awards for them. Please give a round of applause.
By the way, I almost thought that you just trimmed your hair.
I think you should.
Come on, guys. Keep the vibes on. much. Thank you, Praveen. I request Teams Dallas Chapter President Was to take over.